This lesson can be utilized if you missed class on Monday, February the 3rd. Go ahead and copy down the warm-up. I'm going to pause it and then go over it with the class, and then whenever I unpause it, you'll see the answers, so you'll have to pause it on the video so you can see the answers. So again, for the equation in slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. We have to make sure we get our equation in y equals mx plus b form. So you have to manipulate your equation to put it in y equals mx plus b form, and then for the x and y intercepts, for the x-intercept, you have to let y be 0. That's what we did here for our x-intercept. We got x equals 8 or 8, 0. And for the y-intercept, we had to let x be 0, which is what we did here. And we worked it out. Our y-intercept is 0, 6 or y equals 6. And the same thing with this one. We got our x-intercept to be 33. And for this one, we got our y-intercept to be 110. And all the intercepts are points on the graph where it crosses the axis. So if we were to graph this line, either 1, 3, or 4, the line in 3 would cross the x-axis at 8 and the y-axis at 6. And the line in 4 would cross the x-axis at 33 and the y-axis at 110. Moving right along to our notes. Our I can statement for the day. Forgot to put my highlighter up. Our I can statement for today is I can write linear inequalities and solve them within real-world problems. One thing that I really want you to take note is that an inequality is not an equation. The root word for inequality means not equal to. So we have less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. None of these are equal to, not equal to. But equation, our root, is equal to. So all of these has equal to. So do not call these inequalities equations. We call them inequalities. First thing I want us to do is to see whether or not an ordered pair is a solution to that inequality. Not equation, inequality. So I'm going to do A with you and see if you can do B and C by yourself. A says the point is 0, 0. Now keep in mind that points are represented in x, y. So everywhere we see x, we're going to let it be 0. And everywhere we see y, we're going to let it be 0. And we want to see whether or not it's true. Check to see whether it's a solution. So if it's a true statement when we plug it in, it is a solution. So 2 times 0 is 0. 3 times 0 is 0. 0 minus 0 is 0. And I've left out an important part, negative. So we want to know whether or not 0 is greater than or equal to negative 2. Is 0 greater than or equal to negative 2? Okay, let's think about our number line. On our number line, 0's in the middle. Negative numbers are this way. Positive numbers are this way. So is 0 greater than negative 2? Yes, it's bigger than negative 2. So go ahead and on your own, check B and check C. Remember, everywhere you see X, you're going to put in 0. And everywhere you see Y, you're going to put in 1. And you're going to check that one. Let's do C in a different color. Everywhere you see X, you're going to put in 2. And everywhere you see Y, you're going to put in negative 1. And you're going to check to see whether or not that is a true statement or not. So let's go ahead and check B. 2 times 0 is 0. Negative 3 times positive 1 is negative 3. 0 minus 3 is negative 3. We want to know whether or not negative 3 is greater than or equal to negative 2. Is it? No, negative 3 is smaller than negative 2. Negative 3 is down here, and negative 2 is right here. So negative 3 is less than negative 2, not the other way around. Then part C, 2 times 2 is 4. Negative 3 times negative 1 is positive 3. 4 plus 3 is 7, and 7 is greater than negative 2. So A and C are both solutions to the inequality. and B is not a solution to the inequality. Next, we're going to practice putting these inequalities in slope-intercept form. So go ahead and copy down example 2 and copy down the directions. Put the following in slope-intercept form, and then we're going to look at A together. This is just like what we had in the homework last night. Don't let it trick you that you have two variables. Okay, slope-intercept form basically is getting y by itself. So our first step in A is going to be to subtract 2x from both sides. 2x minus 2x is 0. I have negative y left on the left side. Less than or equal to does not change because I'm not multiplying or dividing by a negative. On the right side, I do not have like terms, so I'm going to rewrite it as 2x plus 1. I have a negative 2x. I have a positive 1, so my negative 2x stays negative, and my positive 1 stays positive. Now, I have negative y on the left side instead of just positive y, so I have to divide by negative 1. The golden rule of algebra says what you do on the left, you must do on the right. This applies to inequalities as well. So this involves 3 steps. The first step is dividing negative y by negative 1. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. I'm left with y on the left side. Then we have to look at the inequality. Because I divided by a negative number, it must change from less than or equal to greater than or equal to. Then negative 2x divided by negative 1, a negative divided by a negative is a positive. And positive 1 divided by negative 1, a positive divided by a negative is a negative. So y is greater than or equal to 2x minus 1 is the solution for slope-intercept form of that inequality. So now let's look at B. Our first step is the same. I'm going to subtract 9x from both sides. 9x minus 9x is 0. I'm left with negative 3y on the left side. Greater than does not change. Negative 9x plus 18 is left on the right side. My next step is to get y by itself. I'm multiplying y by negative 3. So to get rid of that, I'm going to divide both sides by negative 3. This makes me do 3 steps. Negative divided by a negative is a positive, so I have y. I divided by a negative, so I have to change greater than to less than. Negative 9 divided by negative 3. A negative divided by a negative is a positive, and 9 divided by 3 is 3. Positive divided by a negative is a negative. Positive 18 divided by negative 3 is negative 6. Y is less than 3x minus 6. Next, let's look at C. This one's dealing in fractions, but we can handle it. Our first step is just like before. We're trying to get y by itself, so we subtract 1/4 x from both sides. We're left with 1/2 y is less than negative 1/4 x plus 1. 1 was positive, so it stays positive. Then we can do one of two things. I can either divide both sides by 1/2, or if you think about it, what you're doing here is multiplying by 1/2 or dividing by 2. So you can multiply both sides by 2. What's 2 times 1/2? 1. So I have y. Now, did I multiply or divide by a negative number? No, so my inequality does not change. It is still less than. Y is less than. I have to distribute my 2 to both parts of the inequality. 2 times negative 1/4 is negative 2/4. Negative 2/4 reduces to what? Negative 1/2 x. And 1 times 2 is 2. So our inequality is y is less than negative 1/2 x plus 2. Last, let's go over D. This one's much easier. All we have to do is add 5x to both sides. Negative 5x plus 5x is 0. 0 plus 5x is 5x. I didn't multiply or divide by a negative number, so it's still less than. Y is less than positive 5x. So real quick, I'll give you guys at home another chance to look at this. Pause it now if you need to. Okay, we're going to move right along. Now we have a word problem. Richey is building birdhouses in shop class, and he has a total of 341 nails on hand. A small birdhouse requires 24 nails, and a large birdhouse requires 58 nails. Select the inequality in standard form that describes this situation. Okay, now, we talked about standard form with the equations, but if we're talking about an inequality in standard form, all that means is ax plus by, and then some type of inequality, so less than c. Okay, so it's just a number times x plus a number times y is less than, greater than, less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to c. Okay? X is the small number of birdhouses, and y is the large number of birdhouses. So we've got to look at our information here. We know that 24 nails is a small birdhouse, and small goes with x. So we're going to multiply 24 by x, and all of our answers have that. Okay. Then we have large birdhouse is 58, and y goes with the large birdhouse. 58 goes with y in all of these. So far, all are good candidates. Now, the thing that we have to know in order to choose which one is correct is that he has a total of 341 nails. So we've got 341 in all of these. Can he use more than 341 nails? No. So he has to use less than or equal to 341. The one that's less than or equal to is answer choice what? C, the third choice. We need less than or equal to because he has no more than 341 nails. Once he uses those 341 nails, he's out. Let's do another real world problem. Example 4. The Milford Playhouse wants to make at least $5,160 on ticket sales this year. Currently, adult tickets cost $34 and children's cost $16. So here again, we're going to use those numbers that go with our variables. Adults are 34, and adults go with x. So we have to multiply 34 by x. We're not multiplying 34 by x in A or D, so A can't be the right one, and D can't be the right one. Then, children's tickets cost $16, so we have to multiply 16 by y. Okay. We know that the total ticket sales cost has to be $5,160. So the tickets have to be greater than or equal to that. But are we going to add the ticket sales together, or are we going to multiply them together? We're going to add them together. Very good. So our answer choice is B. We add the total number of adult tickets times the cost, plus the total number of children's tickets plus the cost, and that gives us the total cost. Our last real-world example. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about this last example. An orchestra in Newberry is putting on a benefit concert for the local children's hospital. Orchestra seating costs $73 per ticket. So if we go ahead and look at all of our choices, this is kind of like example 3. We all have 73x plus 47y. And we have all $5,250. So we have to decide which inequality we need. So the goal is to raise at least $5,250. So if they want to raise at least that much, that means that the ticket sales should be equal to or greater than, which is answer choice C. Very good. Your homework is really short tonight. Workbook page 161, 1 through 4. This is just like example 1. Just like example 1. So in your workbook, page 161, 1 through 4.